welcome to, what is it, Tuesday today? Is it Tuesday or Monday? I think it's, oh no, it's freaking Wednesday, dude.
Yeah, it's the 29th, man.
Holy wow, it's Wednesday.
Two more days until the new Mastodon album comes out.
Wow. Awesome, I guess. Sorry, I wasn't following Mastodon.
You know what? That's okay. They're not following you either.
Why did you have to hurt my feelings like this?
Because you just made fun. You just said you don't care about my band.
It's not your band.
You know what I meant.
Maybe I do.
Hey man, whatever. You know, everybody's got their taste in music. Yours sucks. That's all.
What?
Sure.
Alright, guys. So today we're gonna have a pretty chill, nice little stream with Tom hurting my feelings. Yeah, basically I'm gonna continue on Retopology. Tom is gonna continue on line drawing. You know the drill. Just same old. I'm gonna try to just shut up and focus on work, and then I'm gonna be, if there's something that's worth mentioning, I'm definitely gonna bring it up. By its nature, Retopology is kind of very repetitive process, so I'm not gonna be introducing any awesome new tools other than what we already looked at yesterday. But in case if you missed the yesterday's stream, let me give you a little update. So I'm using add split to modify existing topology like this, triangulate it and change the flow as I go. And quads, points faces is a great tool to create new topology. I'll say yesterday I was having trouble with auto merging in 3D-Coat. If you move a vert on top of another vert, it will automatically merge. And for some reason I had an impression that there is a way to disable it. Probably because I was doing a lot of Blender recently, and you know, it's got a similar feature where you can enable and disable it. In 3D-Coat you just you don't disable it, you just make your brush size smaller, and this gives you a more precise control over verts, and you know, it prevents you from merging it. Another thing I like to use is a brush tool. You can shift. Oh no.
Oh no.
I can hear myself, Tom.
My headphones died. Sorry. Be right back.
No worries. Let's try. I'll be a good kid and send it. Alright. Alright. Brush tool. If I scale it up, also let's disable that symmetry because I merged that seam. So now with holding shift you can relax topology and make it wrap around the surface better. Really handy tool. also moves stuff around. You can, especially handy for organic stuff when you need to, you know, wrap something around an organic form. Points, faces. So, if you remember, I mirrored this side of the crate over, and if I look at it from this weird extreme angle, you can see a chunk of my geometry is kind of floating and is not aligned. For this, what I like to use is this snap tool. You just press snap, and it snaps to the closest point on the surface. Really handy. And now let's adjust the placement a little. For some reason there is delay after I click on a point. Probably need to restart my machine again.
But it's definitely not caused by you sharing your desktop over Hangouts.
No, I haven't had issues before. It's like I just had a crash when I was running an OpenGL version of...
Right, I said that because you're not doing it.
What?
You're not sharing your screen in Hangouts. You're sharing it. You're only streaming it.
Oh.
But don't do it. I mean, because that will kill performance even more.
I don't know. Let's see. Maybe it will make performance better.
Maybe it'll fix it.
Also wonder if it's my Wacom drivers. Let's see if they're even working. Yeah, they are working. Did you decide what you're gonna draw today, Tom? Ooh, a tactical flashlight, that's cool.
Yeah, tactical flashlight is kind of where I'm at, but not really sure. That's a lot of curves.
Go for it. The more frustrating you feel, frustrated and embarrassed, the better your drawing is gonna get in general. So, force yourself.
Yeah, my headphones are totally dead, so I've got them on the charger now, but I'm having to mute.
Okay. Using strokes, press and enter, bam, beauty. And then here I can use add split to like locally subdivide this part. And then nudge it in place. Awesome. We can use quads here. So quads has a lot of different ways to different modes. So there's a trapezoid, which is cool. So if I grab this, it like literally just extracts this strip, and you only need to click once, and then you can adjust it later. I'm gonna flatten this part of the crate. How this can go. If you look at it from the top, you can see I'm lacking in definition here. Let's use add split. And can do the same here. Now with the brush we can relax this area a bit. And the brush is behaving really slow today. In the meantime, here's Tom creating a silhouette for the flashlight. Oh.
Yay!
That's I didn't have symmetry on, so I'll just quickly repeat this same subdivision process on the other side. maybe you should pay attention to our Twitch in case if somebody has questions.
Yeah, I'm on it, boss.
All right. Yeah, smooth brush is really slow today. Alright, maybe I'll cap these faces. Let's see. And by cap, I don't mean it capital. I'll just do this. In tight areas, add split. It is a much better tool to use, because it lets you do stuff like this really fast. You can also use quads. Alternatively, I could do something like this, where I just cap a face and let's enable symmetry. There we go. I cap a face, then with the select tool I select it, and then we can do so there's a few extrudes in 3D-Coat Retopology room. You can do extrude faces, normal extrude, intrude. So let's do normal extrude, and you can say I can scale it down and move it in. A slightly faster way to create same topology. And then I can just triangulate it. Is there triangulate geometry? Here we go, subdivide. No. Remove endguns. Remove endgun strangulates the object, and I can use points of faces or add and split to move this topology in place. My crate is asymmetrical, like this front part is different from the back part, that's why I can't just mirror it over. I guess like I could technically just copy over these faces, but it would be almost too much work. Sometimes it's easier to do stuff manually. Okay, let's do another cap. Select. Extrude normal. And with that split, I'll just subdivide it here, and that's it. So, one thing we can do is do snap to make sure that it's attached to a surface. And this is pretty close to what I want the cap to be. Obviously, you can optimize it later, more down the road, but so next step is I'll probably do keep these LED whatever locks as a separate object, and I'll actually create a flat face here, and I can, if I need to, I can merge them later as well. Add split. Boom. Something like this to start with. So you can see here I have a floating edge, and whenever I try to subdivide it, it snaps to God knows where. So I'm gonna disable auto snap. Click on it. Move my point where it needs to go. And then re-enable auto snap, and makes life a bit easier. Now I have a funky topology flow here. Let's fix it up. F to orbit around a specific point. You can see it's not really, my topology is not really aligned to the shape. Let's see what we can do. A little bit better. Let's grab a brush and try to smooth it out. All right. There's an issue here. You can say the symmetry didn't quite merge. We can nudge it a bit to fix it up. Let's add another edge loop here. And then merge it. Check this side. Add split. And then nudge it to merge. Alright, gotta grab a glass of water. Where are you, Tom? So Tom, in the meantime, if you haven't seen our previous streams, he's working on improving his line work draftsmanship skills, and the way we're approaching it is by designing a silhouette first. Yeah, this is where he started. You can see the line quality is quite scratchy, and then we've spent the last 5 days slowly refining and then make sure that every line that he places is as deliberate as possible. And the approach we use for this is start with the silhouette, make sure that you have this a very nice well-defined silhouette, and then you do a loose line pass on it that is just big thick blue lines or whatever, and then you refine it as you go, slowly transitioning to a final line work quality. And if you look at some of the these amazing drawings that you can find online on like ArtStation or anywhere else, I can guarantee that none of these lines that you see in the final were the first lines that the artist drew. Generally, it's a lot of work, and it's layer after layer when you refine and continue refining until it's pleasant looking. So this is the initial line pass, and you see Tom is kind of trying to get a feel for the form and trying to establish the shape divisions in this flashlight object. I wouldn't erase Tom. So the few things to keep in mind is try to not be scared. Like don't feel like you need to erase or clean up this layer of line work, because then you're going to be just kind of wasting your time, since you're going to be doing a more refined pass on it anyway. And another thing is whenever you are doing your second or third pass, always look for a way to improve your lines underneath. Like if you don't just trace over, because then you're wasting your time. Yeah, like ask yourself, is this the line in a proper perspective? Is this ellipse as pushed as it need to be curved? And yeah. Ellipses are hard. It's really easy to make them look flat when drawing them in perspective. Okay, so we have this guy. It's looking pretty good. There'll be tweaks down the road, like with anything else. Maybe I'll continue this subdivision here. Next, let's create a new layer, a Retopo group 2, and these are gonna be front locks. Let's save. And you can see when I switch from my first Retopo group, which should be called a lid, create lid, to my empty, the new Retopo, the first one gets grayed out. And if I try to modify the other Retopo group, I still can, but you know, this kind of lets you know that you're modifying the wrong thing. We can also hide it to avoid any unnecessary edits to it. And now let's just let's Retopo these guys. So there's parts that are kind of sticking into the other mesh that we don't really need to worry about. But I'm still gonna retopologize them. I'm not gonna bother recreating this shape because that was just a happy accident. So what's the best way? Points and faces is really the easiest way to start retopologizing something. In here, I almost want to do it based on this asymmetry of this one object, and then duplicate it over, which I could do. Let's see, clear points, symmetry. I can do pick symmetry on x-axis. And I'm gonna tap right in the center, and now you can see I'm pretty close. I'm a little bit misaligned, so let's try another one. Yeah, that's good enough. So now I can retopologize this guy faster, just on one side. Okay, points, faces on. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. And then add subdivisions to round it up. And like, I might be overthinking this because like this is a pretty flat shape. I don't really need to add that much topology, but once again, optimizing down the road is pretty simple. You just kind of delete a few loops. Okay, this part that sticks out, I'm gonna keep it as a separate object, object because I want to animate it. When the lock opens, I want this little rectangle just kind of pop out. It's a pretty tiny piece, so I'm not sure if it's even going to be visible when animated, but that's my kind of plan in the back of my head. If you're watching it this live, feel free to, and you have any questions, feel free to ask them in chat. And yeah, if you're watching it on YouTube, just ask it ask them in the comments below. I try to check YouTube comments, you know, every week or so. Yeah, if you feel like you could benefit from, you know, daily feedback and other help with the 3D or game design stuff that we do here, check out our Patreon. Support us on Patreon, and you know, join the feedback group so we can communicate directly, and I can provide you guys with feedback on any projects you're currently working on. You can see my symmetry got destroyed here, so let's do symmetry, topo, and then apply symmetry to all layers. There you go. We have about 10 minutes before Tom needs to go, so I'm gonna wrap it up and we'll continue tomorrow. I don't know how much more retopology I should be doing live on stream, because it's pretty repetitive at this point. I'm just moving points and it can be pretty boring to watch. What are your thoughts, Tom? Can you even talk, or is your headphones dead?
Yeah, sorry, I've just been muting it because my headphones are still charging. Yeah, I was actually thinking that I might start doing some blueprint work on tomorrow's stream to start reasoning about. I know I want to use an interface for this so that we don't have to tie it to a specific player controller for looting the crate.
Yeah.
But there were I had some, still got some things I'm thinking about regarding time dilation and, you know, whether we want to pause action while you're looting or that sort of thing. And I wonder if there might need to be two separate interfaces for crates. One that's kind of a crate behavior adapter that controls the world state, and then another one that allows the player to interact with it. So once I figure that stuff out, that would totally be good to do on a stream, and I could actually just use just a cube, you know.
Yeah, for the time being.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be the crate itself. Particularly if the animations are going to be skeletal, then
I wanted to try to animate all of it inside of Unreal using the new Unreal animation tools.
Yeah, it'll be the same. I mean, I guess I meant a packaged animation.
Yeah. Okay.
Because usually we would do this as a procedural animation in the code. But I don't want to do that this time. I want to do just want to do packaged animations. Make it easier. And make it so that we can swap the crate out pretty easily without having to worry about specific angles for opening and timing and all that stuff. You just bring the crate in, give it an open animation, and it's ready to rock and roll. But yeah, I might be able to. Maybe we can do some of that on the stream, or
cool.
I don't know. Maybe a separate one to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, we haven't really done much, planning regarding what it needs to be. I just have it like at the back of my head, really. Yeah, we should. Maybe have a stream on just trying to identify the behavior that we wanted to have. And by trying, I mean identifying it.
We could easily spend an hour just talking about that. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So my symmetry broke again. Boop, mirror it, and then points and faces. I just realized I was pressing apply symmetry to all layers. Thankfully, my guy was hidden, and I don't think anything broke, but gotta be careful. Alright, so you can see I got a quick topology for this guy. It could use a little bit more love, particularly in these rounded areas. And as you can see right now, it's pretty dense, but we can definitely optimize it more. This guy I don't think needs to be as subdivided. Could technically get rid of this part as well. And as you can see, we just very quickly lost a lot of extra topology that we didn't need to have. This piece, maybe I'll match it a little bit closer to the surface. I'm gonna also run relax, see if it helps. Yeah, you can see before it was kind of all over the place. With relax, makes the topology slightly nicer. What we could do here, instead of me trying to wrap around this shape better, I'll get rid of these faces and then just extrude out a box. You can see symmetry breaks really like it breaks pretty often. So what I can do is assign a shortcut to apply symmetry to current layer. I think previously I had it assigned to Alt S. So let's press End, press Alt S. So now, boop, I can fix it pretty fast. Now let's use select, and switch it to faces. Control D to deselect any accidental selections. So I have these two faces selected, and I'm gonna do extrude normal. And now much better. Last but not least is silhouette. It's really important to get that right. So I'm trying to adjust the silhouette to make it as close to my original mesh as possible. And I think I'm gonna probably use quads to do another loop around. Yeah, too close. Let's do that split. And then we are gonna do point spaces. Alt S just to make sure that symmetry is in. And we got this piece done. Last thing I'm gonna do, actually not the last, but basically once I'm happy with the topology, all I'll need to do is just select it. Use select and then do just select all the faces and duplicate, which is pretty sure just a clone command. Here it is, and then I can move it over onto the other side where it belongs. But I'm not gonna do that yet because there's still a few things that I want to fix here. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it day for today's stream. Tom, do you have any observations, recommendations, fears, and concerns?
No, other than drawing through with the ellipses, like I think I had better luck drawing through the shape. So like,
oh yeah,
you know, drawing through it and then just cutting off the back face.
Yeah. I think your line weight is a little bit too high, too thick, especially when you go into the black lines. Because then, yeah. Try to limit yourself to a certain line weight, like I don't know, 5 pixels or 3 pixels, because anything bigger than that can result in a very thick line work. And like your accuracy could be pretty good, but because the lines are really thick, it can start feeling very, or too much.
Yeah, it's a balance between doing short moves, like trying to get around it, get around the form or whatever, and then having that urge to go through and smooth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or true it up or whatever. And then it just ends up getting really thick anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to go back and smooth, or don't go back and redraw on top or erase, because then you get into that land where it just starts being not consistent in terms of the width.
Yeah, see what I just did there?
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys.
Practice.
Practice.
Okay, thanks, Alex.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.